Hey guys, I'm here with Raul Palacios, and he is the executive pastor at Flamingo Road Church down in Florida. Great church, growing. Tell us a little bit about Flamingo Road.
Yeah, well, Flamingo, I've been there for about 5 years on staff. I've been attending the church for about 14 years, and we had a lead pastor, Pastor Troy Gramley, who came in about 7 years ago and has just lit us on fire. And he's a phenomenal leader, phenomenal communicator, and we've just kind of been holding on.
You guys are growing so crazy
on this big
fast.
growth curve. So about 3 years ago, we decided to go multi-site, and so in the last few years, we've gone from one campus to 6 campuses, and just kind of fighting through all that. There's great opportunity, but also great challenges in the midst of that. So it's been fun.
Well, I know you guys get a lot of national recognition because of your growth, and there's a lot of churches looking to you guys for answers. And being an executive pastor, I know one of the things you deal with a lot is personnel issues. And we were talking about a while ago, we were talking about how some pastors feel stuck. You know, they feel like their church is stuck. It's not growing. They're not moving. And you deal with that a lot in talking to other pastors. What do you tell them when they feel like something's not moving? Yeah.
Well, one of the things that's just been so clear for us at Flamingo is just how, part of that growth process is how do you keep growing, and you hit those plateaus, and how do we accelerate? How do we keep it going, or get it started back up again? And momentum's a beautiful thing. How do you keep it going?
You don't appreciate it
and
until
what
it's
we've
gone.
realized over the time, at least over the 5 years that I've been there, is it seems to always boil down to personnel. I mean, personnel drives us. Our staff is so important, and we don't have there's no church that has enough staff. We all feel like we just need more resources. If we had more staff, then we can pull this thing off. But I think what happens is a lot of times we at Flamingo, one of our big values is to just be truth tellers. And I think that's just a key ingredient when we're dealing with personnel, and to be truth tellers with where people are at. So I have pastors coming to me all the time, and they're always asking me, what do I got to do to get past this latest barrier, this barrier we're at? And the first question I always ask them is there a personnel decision that you need to make that you haven't made? And almost every single time they say to me, oh, you just didn't say that. Right away.
I don't want to deal with it.
I think we all have names in our mind that decisions that need to be made. And the question is, I really believe, are we going to have the integrity to deal with that? And I think, I've heard it say, that, it's how much pain are we willing to deal with in order to keep on growing. And there comes a time where I think we're just not really ready to deal with that pain of making those decisions. Yeah.
And you know what? And I found that when we delay those decisions, sometimes we know it needs to be made, but when we delay it, it hurts our credibility as a leader. Yeah. Because sometimes we delay so long that people are looking to us going, when are they going to deal with this?
Well, the reality is you think no one else knows.
Right.
They all know. Yeah. The entire staff knows who are your, let's say, A, B's, and C's. Right, they know who's the top 20%, who are the performers, and they know. So we just have to have the courage to deal with those. And at Flamingo, I believe every 6 months we are presented with one of those issues. And we have to, once again, make that decision. There's so much relational pain that always is involved with that, and we've had to do a lot of that.
So what do you do? I mean, what do you do when you say every 6 months, one of these deals comes up? Yeah. What are your options?
Yeah. I think for us, it's always been immediately try to set is it a training issue? Can we retrain them? Can we give them some new tools? Is there someone they can network with that could help them perform their role better? So there's that retrain aspect. I think there's that, move them to another area. Is there possibly reposition? I think that's a phenomenal opportunity. You always want to try that area, right? Is their giftedness match the job description? But then do we have the guts to deal with the third option, and that's removing them? And at Flamingo, we've been very, very clear that we are all going to be very honest and be very truth tellers throughout the process, and let people know. And I think if you are, they're not surprised when it happens. I think a lot of times they move on their own because they realize they can't succeed in your environment. So I think every time we've done that, God's blessed it. There is always blessing when you're obedient and you make those tough decisions. Now, my pastor's always said, which is, he's always so right, is that he could guarantee you that there's always blessing after that hard decision, but he could also guarantee you there's going to be another obstacle coming.
Yeah.
So you know,
Don't
don't
rest
relax.
too long.
Exactly, it's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Raul, thank you so much. Some great advice and great wisdom in that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mac. Mm-hmm.